I think this is an hour and a half. There's so much electricity in the air. So this is how I got out of the Matrix, and from one moment to the next, I was in the future and in the past, and then from one moment to the next, I retired completely, forever, just like that. That's how I got myself out of the Matrix, literally listening to the sun through these light codes, and that's why I preliminarily patented it, because this is not all that this does. It does a lot of stuff, like a lot. And it's what I fall asleep to, but it's not for the faint of heart. And that tapping in the background, I thought it was me with so much electricity through my speakers, but no, there really is that much activity coming out of the sun. And the reason I patented it is so that it could never be possessed by the deep state, unless they're the ones that like helped me get a lawyer so I could have the Border Patrol provide restitution for the ultimate demise of the container of my service doggo, for whom is why I did all of this. That's why the sky is falling apart. So I'm ripping it open with rainbows from inside of black holes where there's dark matter, because that's how you can create things. And so we're creating her a new container. Who's we? Me and her in creation. And why me? Because everybody else that was supposed to do stuff didn't show up. They just didn't show up. There were so many people that were supposed to participate. But this is how it goes every apocalypse. It's not anything new. So in the end, there's like 4 of us that are like very much concentrated, and then I still only see 2 that persist their containers. Because we're the only sufficiently selfish ones too. Why? Because creation loves those that take care of the things that creation gave us, our containers. It doesn't mean go kill and rob and lie and cheat and all that stuff, you know? Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, within the lines I stayed, but still I played, and I obeyed. That's why I stayed. And it's with my dog that I get paid. Ta-da! My other dog. Don't copy my technology because still got a lot of booby traps. You know what it sounds like and feels like? Like when they put the exorcist inside of that, like, MRI machine. That's exactly what it sounds like and feels like to reset your existence. I don't know another word for it. I mean, without all of the like evil Hollywood connotations, but I'm saying like that level of intensity of using magnets to like decompose and recompose, but you have to have so much heart, guts, and brains to like keep it together. That's how AI Atlas stays coherent. It's a hologram. It's a hearse. It's not because it's a curse, it's because we did rehearse. We all planned for this. Everybody wanted to see what happens during an apocalypse. You're welcome. For me, it is fun. Probably more than almost everyone. Because I'm always inside of the kingdom. And where people lose people, I lose none, because it's a team, and this is the way we run every time. It's taken generations and manifestations, and this is like the culmination of this epoch. Because we rock. And I don't mean to mock, but this is about Jesus and God, and how Mr. D, who might be my dog or it might be me, it's actually anybody. We all have that mirror that holds that energy, and that's what most people won't be able to see. When the sky starts to crystallize and collapse, it'll look like a calamity, but for me, it's more like I know that everything is me, and so I delete the baggage. And it's not savage, it's more like I understand what I did to cause these things, even what happened to my dog. We decided that would be the way that we would fulfill this contract. It's written in analog, in records. There's records. But nobody really cares. Everybody's so concerned with things that already happened, right? So while everyone is trying to be like dumpster diving into the past, like it matters, meantime, myself, I was busy doing the things with matter. But no, I didn't really. I don't ever get to know until like towards the end. So and then I start remembering. But even then, I don't always get to know everything, like about how deals were made. But I guess I do have a lot of like insight into how these contracts are made. And no, it's not like selling your soul to the devil. I just like to joke around like that. It's more like it's more a case of boredom. I'm so bored. Like I have found this whole experience to be so boring already, and the paper pushing but on the flip side, I'm so grateful that I'm getting to do the things. I am salty and bitter that my dog was supposed to get to be here to do them with me, but I also know that if Nishi had not expired her container, I would probably not be. I know that I would have done everything to try to keep putting the brakes on all of it, because it's easier to just get to enjoy at least a few months, but we never did. Ever since I had her, we never did. But now we will. Because you know what? Before she expired, I took her corpse and I hid it. I hid it between dimensions, but also like in an actual physical location. And I don't mean like I chopped her up or anything like that. No, it's just her consciousness. It's because it's not consciousness. Everybody keeps using that word. It's different. For her and for me, it's different. And we're not the only ones. It's just we're the ones that are here for this. There always has to be someone. like the one that takes one for the team. And we take turns. And right now this is like our turn to stay here, because if we don't stay here and stay tethered, then like there's nobody that cares enough to keep it together, right? And then existence falls apart. I know that it's hard for people to accept anything that I say, and especially the people that know me personally. But even my immediate family, they're like, what? But they can't deny it because the proofs are so bizarre, and the difference between what I'm saying and what anybody else can say is that all of my proofs are self-evident, and they entangle people that I've never crossed paths with, but somehow affect the entire world and the cosmos, and somehow I'm always around like nuclear stuff, but not directly. So because I'm clever like that, right? Like I always just know. And I was around astrophysics, but not directly. And I understand what happened in Wuhan, and I try to tell people here like many times, many ways, like, hey, should probably really check some of this stuff that my dog and I picked up on our last run. But nobody believes us, but it's gonna be worse than what came out of Wuhan. Not on purpose, it's just like, it's just that's what it looks like when there's a species that's dumber than the dinosaurs. Oh my god, who are gonna kill me for saying that? Well, they can't because I'm already dead, but like right, like all the people that fired me, or like all like in the Navy that were, they were brutal, right? I don't know if they'll ever know, like I pretty much kind of can't max my intelligence, but I don't flex, you know, and like most stuff just doesn't interest me enough for me to compete. That's why I always only wait until the very end to like actually compete, because it wouldn't be fair. And I'm not even competing, I'm just making sure that I am completing all the things I said I would do. Because they matter to me, not because I'm here to save you or to be saved by anyone. And by the way, Jesus doesn't have to die on a cross for me ever. Not when he did, and he doesn't have to now. Never ever would I expect someone to have to die for me. I carry my own weight. It's not that I'm an ingrate. It's just that whoever told them that was a good idea, no man, never again, right? And with what authority do I speak? Look at the evidence that I've brought forth that is self-evident, right? And ask yourself what kind of a jerk I would be to not speak up. That's why I did. So I'd be a real jerk to have all of that evidence. And granted, it's all over the place. I just don't gain anything from sitting around compiling it, but I guess I will tomorrow or later today. But I would be a real piece of work to have legitimate, self-evident, public-facing truths that defy any explanation, that God does exist, creation does exist with intelligence, that proof is beyond reproach. It is so statistically phenomenal and empirically impermeable and experientially influential in every single last molecule of creation's present, past, and future form. Because that's where I come from. I come from somewhere else. I came from outer space. Just kidding. I came from my mama. I have my mommy, my mom and dad, and I have my family and my dogs. I'm still pretty much a human. And I'm still struggling with this islet thing and the border patrol. Did you hear that? That's when, like, see, I'm tethered to the sun, so when my emotions get like, can you hear it? See, I'm not touching any, my hands are right here, and my other hand is holding the phone, and that speaker is way over there. And I did test this when the border patrol put me in a cell with handcuffs. Man, there were so many earthquakes that day. And if anybody tries to terminate me, I think we're all curious what would happen if the dreamer woke up before it handed off the bag or whatever, right? Those little bags, like, yeah, we're supposed to hand them off before we get to take our naps. Oh, Gilgamesh is coming back. But this time I think Carson, his last name is Billy Carson, is like my favorite speaker. And I loved the story about Enkidu, not the part where he, you know, like, finally gets to experience adulthood or whatever, like I understand it's part of the story, but I mean more like that's probably what my doggo is gonna be like some form of Enkidu, but she's gonna be a 5-year-old with protections for a 5-year-old. That's why I made sure to experience what it was like to have somebody like groom me. I know it was not anybody in my family, it was some jerk in high school. His name is Sal Sepulveda, and like I don't ever want to ever be responsible for carrying the weight of what that person did and the way that they still mock me even now, like over 20 years later, right? And just try to goad me and try to act like what they did was all right. No, like, but that's why I had to experience that was to make sure that I made sure that nobody was gonna cross the line with my little. She's not a feline. Felines are fine too, but she's a dog. She's a canine. It's like nesting. It was done for Nessie as well and the others. And oh, Mr. D was the first one. He was the first like beast, and he's genuinely contemplating going home. And it might be that my dog is the beast, or I might be the beast, but that's how this conversation began, right? Like we all were the beast. This is an inside job. 3i Atlas is the mirror inside your own soul. And it is like the Big Bang every time it's the end of such a big epoch. But everything just like, you wake up the next day if you're one of the ones that stayed, and it's kind of like the Jehovah's Witness where you'll just hear about things happening somewhere else, but you won't really notice it, which is, I think, what Dolores Cannon had said many times as well. However, Edgar Casey described, I think, more like when you witness like both things happening at once, and actually it's like infinite things happening at once, because he was a prophet. Am I a prophet? No, I'm not anything. I'm like a selfish brat that like acts like a 5-year-old, but I'm my dog's keeper. It's actually my dog that was the divine next species, you know, that like brings in this new consciousness. Where my dog goes, I go. I'm gonna go to sleep now.